everything in life is really vibration, and everything that affects us, every thought, every experience, every emotion, has an effect of either expanding us or contracting us. Contraction would be like water, H2O, that becomes ice. It becomes hard, it becomes rigid. When you raise the temperature, it melts, it becomes water, it can flow. So whenever we're suffering, whenever we're upset, whenever we're angry, whenever we're not in our highest, we're in our ego, our not enlightened part, we're contracted. So the idea of grounding at that time may not actually produce results. Expansion. What expands me? What contracts me? So if you're feeling angry, upset, irritable, disconnected, you're contracting. So to know what things expand you. And you can just think of something right now. What expands me? Meditating expands me. Being out in nature expands me. Thinking about certain things expands me. What contracts me and I should avoid right now? Certain people contract me. Certain foods contract me, certain experiences. So if we start thinking about life in terms of not right, wrong, not good for me, not good for me, but expansion and contraction, everything can completely change. You can look at relationships, choices you have. Is this going to be an expansive experience? Some things that our ego says are going to be good for us might be very contracting, you see. So I would say for everybody, because we are in very, very intense times right now, contracting times. Fear is a contractive thing, of course. Anger, blame. To think, how do I keep myself expanded when there's so much negative, contracted energy flying around the planet?
I love that, Barbara. I think that's a really good way of looking at things. What expands you? I mean, energetically, you can feel it. Does it expand you? Does it feel you feel stronger? You feel limitless?
Yes.
Or does it make you feel in fear, weaker?
Well, the thing is that all transformation, this is the basis of my teaching, is not intellectual, it's vibrational. It's vibrational. Real transformation is an experiential thing. It's not what we learn, it's not who we study with, it's not even the practices that we do. It's what happens to us vibrationally by doing the things that we're doing, by doing the practices, by having the experiences inside, and by the choices that we're making. So the idea of, I'm not feeling good, how do I think more positively at that moment? Positive thinking is fine. Positive vibrating is better, you see, because you can paste positive thoughts onto a vibrationally dissonant experience, and they're going to be at war with each other. So how do I keep myself in a vibrationally expanded, vibrationally aligned place? That's harder. It takes a lot more work than saying, I'm just going to, think the best, or I'm going to go do this and I'm sure it'll make me feel better. How do I actually shift so that I am identified with my highest self? Because you know that, and you've experienced this, and everybody watching has. There's moments when we're in our highest, most loving, expanded self. We understand life. It makes sense. It's easy to behave in our highest. It's easy to make the best choices. Then there's those other moments when we're not in our highest. What I always say to people is, we don't just accidentally shift from one to the other. What conditions create our being in our highest? What conditions create our being in our most contracted or our limited ego? Not, again, good, bad, but what are the conditions and how do we create the conditions, understand what they are? I call them conditions for awakening. So that as we're choosing, choice by choice by choice, we're creating the conditions to be in our highest, and we can shift into it. It's not that we have to just wait for a high experience or an expanded experience and try to avoid things that are going to contract us. We have to understand that we are constantly in flux. We're a vibrational being, and we're changing in every moment. So knowing those conditions for awakening is, to me, essential. And that's where we move from managing our life, managing our thoughts, managing our emotions, into mastery.